This is a glimpse into my life. Life with Eric.
Eric's here.
And I'm Kiley.
And I'm Eric.
Okay, thinking we know who you are.
Oh.
So, looks like we wanted more.
Or less.
Not less.
With Tess. We have a guest in the studio today, and it's her second time on the podcast. Welcome, Tess.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Hello.
When I say Tess, do you have a last name?
I do.
Because
Sorry.
it just seems weird. I don't know why. Well, because I was thinking that today. I'm like, Mary Tess is like your
Right.
full name, but your last name. Do you want to say your last name?
Yeah, Calabria. It's Italian.
Calabria.
Calabria.
Wow, that's better than Lagamasino.
I think
You guys
you
are both
kind of just
Italian?
said that wrong, by the way.
We are.
I said your name wrong?
A little bit.
Oh,
I
okay.
feel like it had a weird thing in the middle there.
Yeah, we just derailed this podcast right away.
It's fine.
Good job, husband, pronouncing wrong.
Right, yeah. But yeah, we want you back on the podcast. You got a lot of interesting stuff happening in your life.
Yes.
I've been listening to your podcast, and Kylie's been listening, and we got a lot of stuff to talk to you about.
I know. I'm excited to be back. Thanks for having me on. We were looking how long it's been since I've been here. Longer than we thought.
Way longer.
Yeah.
December 13th, we
That's
posted.
insane.
Wow.
I was thinking a couple months ago.
Me too.
I did
But I
too.
mean, I guess if you think back in our lives, a lot of stuff has happened
Right.
between
I
December
thought it
and
was
now.
I was like March. That was my guess. March was my guess.
Yeah, I would not have guessed December. Time flies.
I know.
Yeah.
Time flies.
But I'm happy to be back, and you guys are going to come on mine.
Yes.
So make sure to
Yes.
check that out.
Yep. We did the double
Yeah,
episode
so
here.
fun.
Yes.
Yeah. So Tess, I'm going to use something that I love from the Vial Files because I want to give them credit.
Oh.
And so can you know what, I'm going to ask you the first question?
I don't.
Oh, you don't?
I don't.
He doesn't pass any of this by me, so I have no idea what he's doing.
I'll probably get a kick under the table. No,
Okay.
I was going to ask you, how's your heart?
Oh, that's a deep question. It's deep.
I
My
guess.
heart.
Is it
Emotionally
deep?
or physically?
Whatever.
Oh, either
How
one.
you feeling?
Okay, I'm feeling okay. My heart is hopeful and sad, but also strong, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I've been through a lot the past couple months. Like my whole summer has been health stuff, which we can talk about if you want, but that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I
would
think I've
say.
said it when you were going to be a guest on the podcast you've been through. You had a breast cancer, not scare, I guess, or you went through it all.
Yeah, diagnosis. Yep.
Yeah, and so those of you who want to go listen to her podcast, she has a couple
Yes.
episodes out about that, and frankly, I really enjoyed those episodes as much as they made me. They're not the happiest episodes,
Right.
but they're
Yeah.
very informative,
They are.
and I think it makes you. It made me less scared if something were like this were to happen to me. I guess
Which, yeah.
Take on a selfish note, when you're listening to
Yeah.
these things, you're like, it gave me a little more positivity. So I mean, that's good for you're doing for ladies out there that this would happen to, or even guys.
Right.
Totally. Well, I'm glad. Thank you for listening. I'm really glad that you found it informative because that was kind of my goal. Because there's so many questions, and you hear about cancers and breast cancers all the time, but you don't really absorb it, I think, or take it in as much until it happens to you, of course, which is
Right.
normal.
Mm-hmm.
So I think just by telling my story and my experience and how it all came about was good for me to put it out there. But yeah, a lot of people have reached out to me saying, thank you for sharing your story, and it's informative, and I learned a lot, and people find it interesting, and I find it
Yeah.
interesting to hear about others as well.
Yeah, because I have someone. We have someone close to us that has been through cancer, and they don't talk about it.
No.
Oh,
And then when they do, the information is so vague and everything else too. So when I listen to yours, I kind of put two and two together a lot better
Oh, good.
to see their
interesting.
journey a little bit, and I understood it a little more.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't want to talk about it, which I completely understand. It's so scary and overwhelming, and there's a lot that they're trying to figure out in their own time. And I noticed when I found out about my breast cancer that reading other people's experiences or learning about their exact, what's the word I'm looking for? I guess experience with how they went through it just taught me a lot, and I found it so helpful. So I think that's why I found it okay to talk about it more, because I was
Did it make you feel better talking about it?
I was going to say, it
Yeah.
probably kind of helped you work through it.
yeah it did. It helped me work through it. And so long story short, I knew that I had this mutated gene. It's called BRCA1, and I had known that since my early 30s. So I had been doing preventative screening ever since, which is good, and really what saved me in finding out about it so early. So If you have the ability to do genetic testing for yourself, do it because it's helpful. That helped me do the screening early, and I found it in a breast MRI just at one of my 6-month screenings. And a lot of women find it when they feel it in their breasts, which is good, to
Like a
test your breast.
self-examination or-
Self-exam.
yeah.
Yes, thank you. Self-exam. But when I found it in the imaging, I hadn't felt it myself yet. Like I didn't even know it was there,
Mhm.
which was good because it was so small when I found it that it just made this journey a little bit easier for me than it is for other people who find it kind of later.
Right.
So,
How do you know you should get that genetic test? Or who-
family
Usually
history.
it's family history.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so I had my aunt and my grandma on my dad's side. That's why I did the genetic testing. So it's good to do it if you just want to know and be aware. You don't have to have family history, just so you can kind of be aware. Or if you're having children, you want to know for
Right.
your children.
What's involved in that test?
It's pretty easy. From what I remember, I did this a while ago, but you spit in like a little test tube.
Oh, I heard that you said that on your podcast. I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, it's pretty easy. They might draw blood too, but I'm pretty sure it's just saliva.
Oh, wow.
From what I recall. And
So
then
really,
they send it
anybody
off.
could get. I mean, it can't be that much money or anything. I would think. Just-
Yeah, I think out of pocket maybe like around $300
I was gonna
something.
guess about that,
$300.
Yeah.
Also, if you do a 23andMe like DNA test, they can also test you for these for
Oh.
this BRCA1, BRCA2.
Oh, see all this information
not
we're
know
getting
that.
here already,
Yeah,
and they can tell you your heritage at the same time.
right.
Are
So
you,
it's like
you're
a
probably gonna go
2-in-1.
get one now, aren't you?
I'm-
Men can't get breast cancer. That is a thing.
I think I have it all the time.
You
I got
should
lumps all over my body. It's
Let's get your
freaking
test
scary.
then. You've never had a mammogram, have you?
I don't think so.
That would be an image.
Wah.
I know, right?
Yes.
He's probably gonna try to get one next week.
Yeah,
Probably
I'm a little
not.
hypochondriac.
He's-
Yeah, but I like to think.
But he's for
positively.
sure gonna get like a BRCA test
Do it.
No, why would I need a BRCA test?
to see if you have breast cancer.
No, I'd be worried about prostate cancer and stuff like that.
Men can get breast.
No, but
breast
prostate
It's a
cancer, you
thing.
just get a blood test and you get a PSA. It's called. So I've had that because
Okay.
that kind of runs in my
Hypochondriac.
family. Yeah,
Well, I think it
not a
kinda runs-
hypochondriac. I'm
I know.
50 something years
I think
old.
it kind of runs in most men.
Yeah,
Yes.
I never got a physical or anything until I was 40, and then every year I've always got a physical. So then I get a PSA and all that stuff, and then I try to tell that to Kylie, who doesn't go to the doctors.
I'm the worst.
Oh,
I'm
no.
But
like
you're
the
sitting
total
next to
opposite.
somebody that's telling you should probably go.
I get him. I got my mammogram last year. I'm due in October. I have to call make my appointment.
I did it. It doesn't count. I did your mammogram. Doesn't count. I know what I'm looking for.
So that I do.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they tell women start doing mammograms at age 40. I'm age 39. I was lucky enough to find it because I'm doing my preventative screening. So
Right.
all I can really say to the listeners is, if you have a family history, maybe consider doing the genetic testing. Or if you're just a woman, don't be afraid to self-exam. And the minute you feel anything weird, go to the doctor, have them look at it. Don't let them shoo you away. Just say
Right.
you want to get it looked at seriously. Ultrasound, biopsy, whatever it takes. You have to advocate for yourself because it's all about finding it early. Early detection really saves lives. So.
Yeah, and I was listening to your podcast, and you were talking about. You said, like, your first doctor didn't treat you right. Let's say, or you got a bad vibe.
Yes, it was
then
a
you're like-
male doctor in Los Angeles. Yes.
Yeah, and then you're like, you know what? I got to go somewhere else. But you shouldn't take every doctor for their word. At least get a second or someone you feel comfortable with. I guess.
Yes, absolutely. That's so helpful and so important. Don't be afraid to switch doctors and advocate for yourself and just say no because I have a very fast aggressive cancer, so it can grow really
Right.
fast. So you don't want a doctor to make you wait in any regard and if you feel weird about it, trust your gut. And go
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah, exactly. When second opinion, because a doctor is just you're just another patient unless you really know them very well or
Right.
something
Kind
like
of
that.
true.
You know, you're almost a number or just another patient, and so
Yeah.
Kind
You know.
of true.
It is
You have to
hard to
take
find
charge,
a
huh?
doctor that you really connect with, and you're not always going to find that, but at least if you can find one that is going to listen to you
right,
and make moves on whatever you need.
right. Was there anything? I mean, I know it's probably a horrible experience, and just me listening to your experience was horrible for me. But anything positive come out of it?
Positive come out of it.
I mean,
Silver lining, yeah.
anything. I don't know. Silver lining.
yeah.
We'll talk about the negative stuff too, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the positive that came out of it was because I did catch it early enough that I didn't have to go through such harsher treatments with the chemotherapy, which is a silver lining. It could have been, way more doses and way longer of a treatment. I feel like when you go through something like this, a lot of people come out to show their love and support that
Mhm.
you haven't heard from in a while or you don't really connect with. And it just kind of shows you, oh, all these people care, all these people love you, they're thinking of you, people that you don't talk to on a regular basis. So that was kind of really nice experience going through this, I would
That's
say.
nice. And you have a lot. You have, I mean, from what I know of you, you have a lot of friends, a lot of good
I
friends.
do.
You
Yeah,
guys got
they've
like a
been
little
amazing.
nucleus of good friends and stuff like that. So
Definitely. Yeah, I'm very lucky in that
yeah,
regard.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Who would I have? I don't have any friends.
Your mom.
Oh, my mom. Yeah. Was your mom around?
She was. My
Yeah.
mom was great.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she was great. She was so helpful.
Yeah, I remember that you had you got sick from one of the chemo treatments, and then you had to stay the night with your mom. Your mom came to stay the night with you, and
Yeah. And if you know my mom, she's like a 78, 79-year-old Filipino lady, you know? So her worry is through the roof. She's so funny. She's such a character. But she came to stay with me because I did get a fever my first treatment. And all night I'd be trying to sleep. It was miserable. And she'd come tap me.
Oh my gosh.
Should we go to the hospital? Should we go to the hospital?
Oh, let's go.
Can I
Yeah.
please? All I need is sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like over the top, scared, overprotective, worried. You know, that's
I
my
bet,
mom.
yeah.
If you know, you know. And
Well, that's a
so
good
yeah.
mom.
But it was great. She was there with me. Yeah. Definitely appreciative of it.
Should we go? Are you ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
Oh.
Should I call 911?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
My fever is like 101. I think we'll just sit through it.
When they do these chemo treatment, I guess for people out there, and I don't really like talk about it too much, but it's kind of fascinating to me.
Yeah.
And if you're okay, talk about that when you go to. I had a question, I guess. When you go to the chemo, is there other people like sitting next to you?
Yeah.
Or are you
I
by
think
yourself,
so.
or is there a bunch of patients?
There's a bunch of patients, and believe it or not,
Ugh.
they're very busy, which is
Wow.
like very overwhelming.
Okay.
So
Never
you're
mind. I retract my question.
No, now you got to
so
answer.
you're kind of like in cubicles. There's a wall between you, but sometimes you
Oh,
could be
okay.
facing another patient straight on,
Oh.
which is
Whoa,
a little
really?
awkward. Yeah, which
I
can be
would
awkward.
not like that.
But it was
Ugh.
kind of nice. I was having a little bit of a rough time, and I was by myself one time, and
Uh-huh.
this lady across from me had this bag full of fruit snacks.
Oh.
Was she sharing them?
She shared them. She
Hey.
was so cute. So she's like, "Here, I live off these, and sugar's really not good for you." But
Yeah.
I think I needed it. I was
But
just
you
not
get-
feeling good.
I would like sweets like that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
guess
and so
yeah.
she handed me like this huge Ziploc of all these fruit snacks, and I took two, and I was like, "This saved me, thank you." So
That's cute.
yeah, but you are kind of like in a cubicle setting with other patients.
Wow.
Which is not the greatest.
I
but
always kind of wonder that because sometimes I'll see pictures or whatnot, and you think there's a lot of people, or I don't know if you're in your own private room or whatever.
yeah, and
How-
I think it varies from
Probably
place to
place.
place or hospital. The place where I went, it was like a cubicle type situation.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you ever think in a million years you're like you're
don't
your
think
age?
anyone
and-
thinks
well,
that,
you don't-
yeah.
well, no, I do. I think that.
Actually, you do. I take it back.
No, a lot of
Sorry.
people think that. Like,
I
you
know.
don't think until it happens to you, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah.
You know? And I've never actually talked to anybody who's even open about it. I've
Oh.
known other people, but you're the first.
I don't know if I've like known anybody that's.
You probably have, if you think about it. No one talks about it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I'm happy
in your
to
case,
be there.
I think it's important because people like to hear this.
Yeah.
I know they do.
Yeah.
I do, but I mean, who wouldn't?
Right.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
enjoyed
feedback
it.
that I seem to have gotten is people really or say share more, tell more, give more details.
Yeah,
and-
because nobody knows, you know. And then,
Yeah,
and,
most people
you know,
kind of don't know.
Yeah, we're covering some rough stuff here, but you have a couple podcasts out that I mean, I don't know I can't remember what they're called. One is called I Have Cancer or something.
yeah,
right?
the one I talked about it. My podcast is called More or Less with Tess, if you want to look it up. But the two episodes where I really dive deep into all of it, which are kind of interesting, is called I Have Breast Cancer. Self-explanatory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's it.
Yeah. And then this one I did recently where I kind of talked about what treatment was like in my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you, when I listen to your podcast, I'm in the gym.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Love it.
I got choked up I'm not going to kid you. I got choked up that first one because I'm like, oh, man, you know, and I don't even know you that well, but I know you enough, you know, but just hearing anybody's story. And I was in the gym, I'm like, wow. And then I'm like, oh my God, she's talking about everything. And then I got really interested, you know. Then I was like, oh my gosh, you know. And then I called my mom after and I told her to listen to your podcast. So
Oh,
I never
thank
asked her what
you.
she thought of it. I know, but I know she
yeah.
listened to your podcast because
Oh, that's great.
I mean, her mom
She
had
loves the
breast
doctor
cancer and she
also.
loves the doctor stuff. And
Yeah.
but the way you explain it was
Yeah.
real.
yeah.
You hear all the bullshit that people kind of say on TV. You know, you just give the right information, but you actually gave a point of view from how you felt.
Yeah. Oh,
No one
thank
gives
you.
a point of how they feel. Like, you know, that getting that port put in you
Ooh,
for
yeah.
the chemo?
Right.
Tell me if I'm touching too much or
No,
whatever.
not
but
at
okay.
all.
I
Yeah.
know you said it already.
Yeah,
So
I talk
okay.
about all of it.
You know that port that they put. I never knew that. I thought they just put an IV in your arm.
Right, which they can, and that's totally an option. And as my doctor explained, he's like, "You're only getting 4 treatments. You could just get the IV, but he's like, chemo's like poison in a way, and you're just putting that through your veins in your arms.
Man.
It could be not great. I would suggest the port." And I was like, "Well, whatever it is to make it easier on myself,
Yeah.
based on what my doctor tells me." I was like, "I'll get the port." But
And where was this port installed at?
so it can go on either side of kind of like your chest, but higher towards your neck. So they do a surgery where they just kind of like do an incision kind of by your neck, chest, put the port in. It attaches to a vein, in your neck.
Just not your. What's that main artery? Not that
Carotid.
one.
Probably
Carotid
not.
artery, not that one. Just
No.
somewhere. It's a vein just in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, there's like a big one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it was such an
Some
interesting
people
experience.
probably know that, but I never knew that. I mean,
Yeah. And I had a girlfriend who actually had cervical cancer back in 2017, and she never got a port. She didn't even know about him. So,
so it maybe. Yeah.
so it just kind of varies, I think, like your
doctor
exposure to them and what they think, and your doctor if you get one. But most people do, but some people don't. But I did. I had it, and I'm happy to say I already got that removed. I had a surgery a couple weeks ago. They took the port out because I'm done and no need to keep it. And that's kind of like a little something you can celebrate, because then you're like, okay, maybe this is really officially end of the road for this chapter.
yeah.
It's out. So
Like, get this thing out of me.
yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
it
Done. Yeah.
And move on there.
Get it out.
Another thing that kind of fascinated me, and chime in if you got any questions.
I will. I will.
Okay. Was the cold capping?
Oh yes. Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because this was a lot.
You can explain what it is.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't know about it. I only knew about it because some random Instagram influencer was going through breast cancer and talked about it. But there's a whole thing you can do. It's been around for 20 years, but you can kind of freeze your head, your hair follicles, in hopes that it doesn't make your hair fall out when you're going through chemo. And I wanted to try that. I only had 4 treatments I had to do. And there's a bunch of different options, but the one I used is called Penguin. They use dry ice. You keep these caps really, really cold with dry ice. You put it on your head for about 10 hours that day of your treatment.
Does it hurt?
No, it doesn't hurt.
See, I'd kind of like, not that I knew of it, I guess, but had no idea that it was like 10 hours.
Oh,
Like
gosh.
that it was all, I thought you did it while you were getting treatment. And
Yeah.
That was
It
it.
doesn't burn?
No, it doesn't burn. You have like gauze over your head,
Oh,
on
okay.
top of it as a blockage. It's
Right.
really cold, and a lot of people say it's very, very cold. My experience was totally doable. Like, you're cold, but you're not miserable, or it's not like torture or anything. You
Does
just
it
have
take
this
your
like,
mind off the other stuff?
yeah, I think so.
Make it just cold.
And what's kind of good is you have usually a friend helping you, and you're switching it out every 25 minutes.
Oh my
Whoa, really?
gosh.
So you keep
Yeah.
a bunch of them in a...
Yeah, you have 3, and you switch them out with the dry ice cooler every
Wow.
25 minutes.
No way.
Yeah, so it definitely keeps you distracted. It keeps you busy. The time
does,
goes
yeah.
so fast. Yeah,
And
when
didn't you
you're
order
doing
it
it.
from overseas or something?
Yeah,
from what
it's
I heard?
based
I
in
can't remember.
London.
Yeah, so you order it from London.
Yeah.
And they ship it over.
Yeah. People
In-
are saying Kate Middleton, who's also going through cancer, did the
probably
same.
Did the same.
Yeah.
That's right. She just came out. and
Yeah.
said- I mean,
She's done with treatment, I think. She
I
just
wonder
came
why,
out.
when she had the cancer thing, everybody just assumed she had cancer, I think.
Yeah.
And then
Not
didn't
at
she-
first. Everyone thought
Well-
they were like getting divorced.
Well,
Yeah,
I
or
mean,
she was
everybody-
dead.
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
or she all that stuff. Then
She had like
finally
plastic surgery. Everyone
and she
thought.
finally just came out with it. Yeah,
I think they were
So-
sick of like all the random rumors that she's like, I got
Oh
it.
my gosh.
I got
So
it.
many conspiracy
So
theories.
many.
She finally had to come
Yeah.
out.
Like,
But
that he was having an affair with his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
and,
Oh,
like-
really?
Oh, yeah, it was bad.
Oh, I didn't know
all
that.
the things. Oh, that wasn't really her. It was like a model
Oh,
pretending
yeah.
to be her.
But then
Yeah.
again, see, there's certain people, maybe she didn't want to come out and say that. She says, I'll get through this and I won't say nothing. But the press was so hardcore on her that
Yeah.
she had to come out with it and say it.
From her, I feel like she's got 3 kids, and she was probably so scared that the last thing she wanted to do was like talk about
it.
it.
Made it seem like
Yeah.
they didn't know she had it till they found
Right.
found it during surgery.
Right. And I just think people get so freaked out and overwhelmed. They don't really want to talk about it. Their mind is consumed with like
What do I do?
what is
Yeah.
going to happen, what their future holds. They don't want to talk about it.
I would automatically be thinking of my kids. I'm sure you have a daughter, so I'm sure that was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Did she understand what was going on at all?
Yeah. So I think when you're dealing with little kids and you're going through something like this, I never said the word cancer around her. She's 6 or about to be 6 years
Yeah,
old.
yeah.
I always said medicine.
Oh, there
I
you
would
go.
say I have to
Yeah.
get my medicine. The only thing I really talked to her about was, I'm going to be getting medicine and I might be really tired. and I might lose my hair. Like, that's all I told my daughter.
What'd she say when you
And
said
she
the
was
hair
like,
thing?
she was like, oh gosh, I could
Oh.
tell,
Yeah.
I could tell she was
like,
scared.
what?
And I said, I'll make sure I always wear a hat or
Oh,
a
yeah.
wig when I'm around you. So I don't want to like, scare
Scare
you.
you,
She's
yeah.
like, Mom, please wear a wig or hat at all times.
Oh God.
Like, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she was definitely, but that communication with the child, I think, really helps because they know what to expect. They know what's coming.
Yeah, like if you're having a bad
Mhm.
day, they can be like, "Not what is
Yeah,
wrong with you?"
but
Like,
it's
"Oh,
also
okay."
very surface level. It doesn't need to get that deep with children
Yeah,
that young,
totally,
So
yeah.
that's kind of how I did it. And she understood, and she's been like so strong and like supportive about
Cute.
it. Yeah. And so back to Penguin, I did try to cold cap and save my hair. I would say I probably saved 80%, or no, sorry, I probably lost 80% of my hair
Aw.
still.
Oh really?
Yeah, so it didn't work as great for me as it maybe does other people. And it was a crapshoot. I knew
Yeah.
that. Like, I knew it could work really well. I knew it could maybe not.
But it was worth a shot, and it kind of took your mind. Like I said, you said kept you busy, and
they
everything
say
else
it
too.
helps your hair grow back faster. And
How
What-
long do you have to wait for it to start growing back?
usually like a couple months after your final
Oh,
chemo.
so you're getting.
I have
Yeah.
had
Yeah.
like friends' parents, like when I was younger, that I had one friend that mom had breast cancer, and her hair grew back like a different color and curly.
Yep, yeah.
What?
So, yeah,
That's what
we
they
were
say.
like, "What happened?"
I
And she's like,
know.
"I don't know. This
I'm
is how it's
curious
growing
to
back."
see if mine will come back curly
Yeah,
like that.
that'd be fun.
We'll see. Yeah. So I have it. I never
Maybe you get
shaved my
lucky
head.
and no gray hairs will come
Oh my
back.
god, wouldn't that
Yes.
be
Like you
amazing?
kill all the gray hair, You're like, God, I never got gray hair.
Yeah, amazing.
That would be
So
awesome.
Totally
That's
worth
what I
it for
need.
that.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Now, word from our sponsors.
Okay.
This segment of Life with Eric is brought to you by
430 National,
Great American Storage
America,
and Reno Yard.
for all your outdoor storage needs. We never really talk about serious stuff, so I don't know how to segue into the commercials.
And who are not
Like,
serious.
yeah. I'm like, I can't even, I don't know how to segue that. Like,
And
yeah.
now our commercial break.
Yeah.
And pause.
Yeah.
of
That's
course.
fine. Totally works.
But anyway, yeah. So go see your or listen to your podcast. They're very good.
Yeah,
Now,
thank
are you
you.
going to get
Yes.
back on the a little lighter note now?
Oh, absolutely.
You're like,
yeah,
yeah,
I'm
I'm
ready
ready.
You're
to
like,
be.
yeah.
Yeah, I took a little break from even recording, just, obviously going through this.
Yeah.
But I do
Makes
look
sense.
forward to talking about all the pop culture, surface level life stuff. Nothing
Right.
so deep.
And you'll take any questions, right, on your social media, or you have
Yes,
people that want to reach
absolutely.
out to you. Because I would think young women, if they heard that or know about it, would love to reach out
I would
to you.
think so, yeah.
know?
Yes.
I mean, if that happened to you, Keeks, if
Oh,
you would
yeah.
know somebody and you say, hey, what do I
Yeah.
expect? Or you have so many girlfriends,
Yes.
something could
Yeah,
happen.
I would be happy to answer questions, talk about it. I felt like that's really what helped me going through it, is just, talking to other people that have been through it. It was
Yeah.
so calming, and it just helped you get through like the scary moments. So absolutely, you can
The
reach
person
out to
that we
me.
know that had the cancer ended up kind of seeing some of the same people and
Oh, at treatments.
yeah, at treatments and seeing the same people and then kind of becoming friends, and then it's like they
Oh,
have something
yeah.
in common, and so
Yeah, there's lots
yeah,
of stuff
so
like
it's-
that connects you.
and do they have ringing the bell or something like that?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
do. You can ring the bell after your final treatment.
Does anybody clap?
Yeah,
I would think so. I
mean,
would.
I don't know.
yeah,
Like,
people
does
did.
everybody in there starts clapping?
Yeah, there's a lot of nurses around that know it's your last day, and
Uh-huh.
so they're like being really nice and supportive, and then they clapped. And yeah, just patients sitting there clap too. So it's a really happy vibe when you get to do that.
Nice. And what's in store for you? What do you have to get checkups every month or something? Or
Yeah,
what's in store for
so-
you?
If I was just normal, 39-year-old woman with breast cancer, I would probably continue getting a mammogram or MRI every 6 months and just monitor it. Because I do have the BRCA1 gene mutation, I have to do some preventative surgeries next, which is pretty common with this mutated gene. And what that does is it helps prevent cancer from coming back. So
Right.
that'll be next steps. My doctor said, I can do screenings and blood work every 3 months, and then after that every 6 months, and after that every year, so forth. So that's kind of what it would be like in normal regards. Next step is some surgeries I have coming up.
Oh, you have them like scheduled and ready?
Kind of. I mean, I have a
Oh.
timeline. I'll know more next week, but I think like literally next month, and
Oh,
then
geez.
3 months after that.
Okay.
Oh, well, what are these surgeries?
So
Well, I mean, I don't know. Can we ask?
yeah, of course.
You don't have to answer. Yeah.
No, I don't mind at all.
Okay.
So usually with when you get breast cancer, especially if you have a gene mutation, they recommend a double mastectomy, which is removing both breasts.
tissue.
Yeah, all your breast
Wow.
tissue. And so my percentage of getting breast cancer or ovarian cancer is, let's say, like 57%. Whereas Kylie, let's say, who doesn't have the gene, is
like
1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's huge risk. So you
I
really
actually,
need to do
I
the
never
surgery.
thought about ovarian. So you
Yeah,
gotta
they're
I get
linked.
it.
Yeah.
now
Yes.
now I see what you
And
mean
that's
by
the other
two.
surgery. It will be like a
Wow.
full hysterectomy.
Wow, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
okay.
yeah,
I've
it's-
accepted it. I mean, it's overwhelming. It's a lot, but it's just kind of something you have to face when you're going through this. And so,
And you
you
have
know,
a child.
and I have a child.
Yeah.
Yeah, which I'm very lucky. I have a child.
yeah,
But I know some
that's
women
really-
don't. And so I'm happy to talk and reach out to anyone that has questions
Yeah.
about any of this because it's a lot.
Yeah. Are those surgeries pretty brutal? I don't know. I mean, I know the
well,
ovarian
the recovery
one.
is just not. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the full hysterectomy is not going to be that bad.
That's pretty common.
I heard it's like
actually.
5 days of hell and then you're okay.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the other one will be more
Because
intense.
your mooch can't do anything with your arms.
You're like T-Rex for a
Yeah.
while.
Oh my God, I didn't even think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can. Why don't you ask some questions? I'm a guy.
I know.
Can you get fake boobs after?
Yes.
Okay.
So I will be doing
Silver
that.
lining.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just asking. I don't know.
Yes.
I want you to ask these questions.
I
I'm like,
know that answer.
I'm actually asking. I'm getting embarrassed now. I'm like, oh my God, God.
You can. That is an option.
Let's talk pop culture. No,
So funny. Yeah.
Well, and didn't Angelina Jolie do that?
She
yeah,
did.
She did.
And
Yep.
she has fake boobs now,
Yeah.
Yep.
obviously.
Yep. So she has the same gene mutation.
Right.
And that's what she did. She did preventative before cancer even showed up.
Because she had it in her family or mother
yeah.
or
Her
something
mother.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
Any
Yeah.
other celebrities that we know of?
Well, Olivia Munn just did
yeah.
it.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She didn't have the gene mutation, but
She had breast cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was the one going out with Rogers,
At one
right?
time,
Aaron
yes.
Rodgers, yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
That's how I equate.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know. Football.
Yeah, there's a few celebrities. A lot of women like have had to do this and face it, and you definitely can.
Yeah.
There's so many options, but I think most go for reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
And so
I mean, the technology is probably
Well, I think
10
it'd be
times
weird to
better
kind
now
of
than
like
what it-
have boobs and then just nothing.
Well,
yeah.
my
but
grandma.
some women choose that.
I don't. Yeah.
You want to hear the weirdest thing? I'm not gonna say. So my grandma, she had a double
Mastectomy.
mastectomy, and so she
How
was
old
getting,
was she though when that happened?
I don't know.
Oh, I don't know either,
Maybe like
but-
70.
Oh, she was that old?
80. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. I have no
Wow.
idea.
Maybe she was less. She didn't die till 92, but she let's lighten the story up a little bit. She
She opted to not get reconstructive surgery.
yeah, she's 80s or 90s.
I
years
wouldn't
old.
either,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
I mean,
she,
if I was that old, I wouldn't
no,
buy
she
that.
loved it because she gambled a lot. She carried the money in her empty bra.
She'll extra space.
Like she would like rattle quarters in there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Genius. She
Yeah.
still wore a bra.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh yeah, no,
She did?
She wore a bra and she put money in it.
Oh, okay.
She would
funny.
put money
That's
in
like her purse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
Here's my ID.
But
Here's
anyway, and we as kids never really comprehended it or didn't know, even adult kids or whatever. And so one day she had kind of dementia and she staggered out from the old folks'
yes.
home in the middle of the night.
In January.
And long story short, she went around the corner, fell over, and she was just laying in a parking lot.
In
We got
the
a call
middle
in
of
the middle of
the
the night. The cops couldn't find her, Reno PD, everything. Kylie and I ran down there and we found her in a parking lot.
No
The ambulance
way.
came. She was basically almost dead,
From
hypothermia. And then ended up going to the hospital. But here's what I'm getting at. Now, this is what
She did not die from this.
Yeah,
So-
and here's what happened. So Marcus, my younger brother, and I were at the hospital, and we go in there. We're the only like relatives.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
his parents were out of town.
And my papa was a mess. And so so we go into the emergency room with the doctors, and the guy says, "Look it, she's not going to make it."
Well, as they're like cutting her clothes off
As
to
they're-
put like
we're
her in a
standing
blanket.
right with her. They're cutting her clothes off. So my brother and I, the doctor's saying she's not going to make it. My grandma's laying there butt ass naked, and we didn't realize that she had that.
Oh, really?
And so Marcus and I are like,
You're gonna stop weirdly
we're
looking.
like, is she dead now? Like,
What's
we
happening
don't know
there?
what's going on.
You're
with
like,
this.
Doc, something's missing. I think
We were.
this is
they're like, we didn't know if we were in shock from seeing her naked or shocked from hearing that she was
it
gonna
would
die.
be weird to see like your late '80s grandma naked
with no boobs.
with no
Well,
boobs
what about-
also?
Bush.
Oh, was it gray?
No.
Oh,
It was like
Sorry.
reddish. It was
Oh,
like
sorry.
it was like she was a redhead.
You
it was
never
like
told me this.
it
I
was
don't
like
think I ever asked.
it was like reddish blondish.
Oh, look at her
Really?
go.
So me and my brother are sitting there in shock both ways. One dead and two naked grandma.
Yeah.
That's 92 years old laying there, or 90 at the time 90.
And, the,
Something like that,
and
yeah.
the curtains match the drapes, which is even more
Yeah,
shocking.
she kind of was.
I know.
She wore a wig, kind of, but
92?
she had like red hair. It was fuzzed. I don't know. Like, look at Marcus and I are like.
It's ingrained in your memory now.
Oh my God, it's ingrained forever in my memory.
I bet.
And there was just the weirdest thing, but then oh my God, she's gonna die, and then in the emergency room, they don't stop doing that kind of stuff.
No,
so.
they don't care if you're who's standing there.
Yeah, so I remember telling my mom, probably like 6 months later, not a long time later, I'm like, hey, Marcus and I, they cut all
So
grandmas.
naked.
She's like,
So you're like
You
You're like a 5-year-old, like a 10-year-old telling your mom.
I'm like 40 years
Mom, I
old.
saw
Going,
grandma
it's like,
naked.
yeah, it's not something that you see too often.
Oh
As
my
yeah,
gosh.
and Marcus is 12 years younger than me. He was like total in
30s,
shock.
yeah.
He was just like, we're both like white face going out of there.
Grandma.
Her blood pressure was so low. They said she's going to die for sure, and she had hypothermia, and she lived
Wow.
2, 3, 4 more years. I don't know.
Yeah.
At least, I would say 3 or 4 more years probably.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think
that's
like,
amazing.
Yeah, 3 or 4 more. Yeah.
Yeah, she was laying in the park like, me and Kylie walk up to her.
Oh,
I cannot believe you two found her.
I can't either.
We had all of
And it was
Reno
like
PD looking for her.
Yeah, and
3
you
And
in
we
the
found her.
morning.
Yeah.
I think we found her like 4 in the morning. The
were
sun
you
was
just like,
coming up.
let's try that parking lot?
Yeah.
Like, you just
You were
thought,
Do you know what
like-
saved her life though? She put her jacket on
She did,
and,
and a blanket.
and grabbed a blanket before she left in her walker.
Yeah.
wow.
And she was just like, "Why? Where was she?" Say
We
she.
don't. I can't remember. If she said
She said she was going somewhere, like
Yeah.
to a store or something like that.
She did. I can't remember. If she said she was.
If I go
going.
down to the Tamarack
Right.
Junction.
She's like, I wanted to go
Yeah,
gamble.
She wanted to go gamble for sure.
yeah.
Did she have
But-
money
With
in
her
her
money
bra?
in her bra.
Yeah. One of those damn emergency room doctors took her money
Oh, come on.
when they cut her clothes off.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I scored that day.
Right.
Oh,
But anything you want to add with your predicament,
predicament.
I don't
or whatever
think
you want to
so.
call it?
Predicament.
But
no.
you look nice and healthy and
Thank you.
and spry and
Thank you. I think
Everything.
I'm 5 weeks post my last treatment. I'm
Uh-huh.
all done with that part of it now. So I'm feeling back to myself and
Nice.
You got
getting
any,
back
like,
in the groove.
vacations, trips, anything planned? I see you
No.
said you had a
Celebration?
girls like little party coming up.
Yeah,
Or,
yeah. I do like
excited
girl
for that.
nights, dinners, and stuff, which is
Right.
always fun. Look forward to that. I think I'm going on a spring break trip with my daughter in March, so that's some time,
Nice.
but that gives me time to recover. I'm
Where are you gonna
excited
go?
for that.
Where are you gonna go?
San Diego.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Do a whole little SeaWorld, the
San Diego
zoo.
tour. Yeah.
Yeah, all
That's
the
nice.
fun
There's a lot of
stuff.
fun kids stuff down there.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You ever heard of Paradise Point?
No.
It's right
That's where
across
we
from.
used to stay
We
there.
stay there. It's right across from SeaWorld. It's
It
called.
is.
But it's a great place for kids.
It's really fun
I
to
wonder if
stay
that
at,
might
too.
be where my friend suggested we
yeah,
stay.
it's a great place for kids. They have a lot of pools and a lot of activities and stuff. So
Okay. And that might be
we,
it.
We went there with no kids. We were like, oh, kids would love this
Yeah.
place. But
Okay.
it's called Paradise Point. If you want to,
Okay,
if
great.
you want to go there, it's pretty cool. They have
Yeah, that's
pretty
restaurants
cool.
and they have it's right. The water's right there, and it's cool.
Oh, how
yeah.
beautiful.
And then SeaWorld is just a hop, skip,
Literally right
across the
across, like,
street. Yeah,
Perfect,
so-
because
Yeah.
we're definitely doing that. I
Yeah,
know it's
check it out.
controversial, but
I
we're
know.
going.
yeah. I
We're
think you
going,
might, I
sorry.
think you might like
That's
it.
not controversial.
Don't cancel
I
me.
know. Yeah.
I'm
I'm
going
like,
to SeaWorld.
what's happening? I have
Sorry.
cancer. I'm going to SeaWorld.
My daughter
Yeah.
loves whales. I don't know. She has like a whale thing right now.
Right. Well, my daughter loves sharks.
Oh, really?
She swims with sharks.
Oh
She
my
does.
gosh.
She moved to Hawaii a few months ago. Now
She
she
did.
works for a shark diving company.
Oh,
so
that's cool.
it's a little sketch, but you know.
I can see my daughter doing that. She's
Yeah.
very fascinated with that, like
Oh, okay.
scary things, like swimming with sharks
Yeah.
and
It's
whales.
fine.
And
Yeah. If you're going to Instagram, look up Ocean Ramsey.
okay,
And if you
She's a
ask me
person,
after
actually.
she's a person, but she owns the shark diving company, and that's who my daughter works for. So
oh wow,
you will shit your
Oh,
pants
you will. Because you're like,
when
what
you
are
see
you
this.
doing?
You're like, wow,
you're not in a cage.
no.
no.
Oh
And
my,
there were tiger sharks and all kinds of Skylar's 5'2".
Yeah.
And the shark's 16 feet long. Think about
Wow.
it. Yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like she
gosh.
looks just big. I'm like, oh my god.
yeah.
Yeah, I'll
Guppy.
show you I'll show you some pictures, but you can look.
Okay.
You can look it up, and you might see Skylar on some other posts
yeah,
and stuff like that. So
totally. That's
yeah,
wild.
pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But let's get to some lighter stuff.
Okey
Let's
doke.
just-
Do
let's-
it.
let's- Kylie, is there anything you want to add to this podcast? I feel like I'm asking all the questions.
I think you are. You're getting your cancer anxieties out. It's like therapy for you.
I think so. Yeah,
I think it is.
I think so.
Good.
I'm actually glad I'm talking to you because I've been when I listen to the podcast and I know you're coming on, I was getting a little angst about it.
You're
a
Good
little
for
bit.
you.
Because I'm like, what are we going to talk about? How are we going to talk about this? Are we going to? I'm glad we did, and I wanted to, but I was like getting a little bit like how,
Yeah.
it's easy because you're so open about it. Makes it way easier.
Yeah, it would be.
and obviously
like-
I'm not going to have someone sit there and pull it out of them either because
Right.
That's
Tell
a-
me what you did.
that's embarrassing.
yeah, no, this is good. Good timing. I
But
feel.
anyway, did you know
Oh.
that Schwartz from Vanderpump Rules is coming to South Shore?
What is he doing in? Oh, I remember. You
He's
told me
doing
that.
like a meet and greet thing.
I think
At
I
the-
did
At
see
like a
that.
nightclub, though,
at
isn't
the
it?
Pier?
Not Pump.
What's it called? In South Shore. It must
Oh,
be the
Wolf.
old.
The Wolf restaurant?
No, it's not the
No,
Wolf.
it's the
Oh.
nightclub.
It's
Is it
like
like the
Pure.
old the Nero or whatever it used to be?
I think it used to be
when was
Nero's or
Caesar's?
something. In Caesar or not Caesar. It's
When it used to be Caesar's.
It's not even Mont Bleu anymore. What is it?
Oh, yeah.
Alley's or something.
I don't know what it is.
I forget
I
what
don't
it
know what
is.
it's called anymore.
I
But
don't know who owns
anyway, I
that
think
now.
it's at that nightclub there.
Oh
And,
my gosh.
It's like I guess it's a meet and greet type thing, or people line up to go see him. But
I wonder if people really go.
I know.
I don't know if I care that much
I
about
don't think I care.
Schwartz.
I don't think I care enough to go
I
to
would
a
like to meet
nightclub
him.
in South Lake.
Kylie and I want to go to. We always want to go to Tom Tom
I do one
Yeah.
day.
and get
I've
a
been to
drink
Tom
and hang
Tom.
out.
Yeah.
Oh, you have been.
Yes.
What was it like? Tell us.
It was great. I mean, obviously the decor is beautiful, as all Lisa Vanderpump's restaurants are.
Right.
You just walk in and it's a whole thing. There's just like every wall's covered. I took a picture. They have that picture up
Wallpaper everywhere.
of Tom and Tom like kissing.
Oh,
yeah,
You
that
saw the
one?
show?
Yeah,
Yeah, I took
yeah.
a picture in front of that. It's right there in the middle of the restaurant.
Did you see either one of them?
I did not see them, but I did see Lisa and her daughter were there when I
Oh.
went.
Oh, okay.
So which is kind of cool. At least
Yeah.
someone.
Yeah.
But they weren't there. And this was years ago. This was
When they first opened.
2020, actually, I think.
Oh wow.
Because I
They
was,
were open in 2020.
I'm pretty sure that's the year I
my
went.
God.
I'm almost, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because
I didn't realize.
I was there in January. We went to Tom Tom. And then like the next morning is when Kobe Bryant.
Oh
died.
yeah, that was yeah.
Wow, really? Oh,
Yeah.
that was easily 4 years ago. Then.
That was 2020.
That's how I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
And then like COVID hit. So.
Right.
Was that January?
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Kylie and I always want to go on a little tour. We want to go to Tom Tom.
Vanderpump tour.
They want to go to Swartz and Sandy's, and we want to go to Sir, and then we want to go to what's the sandwich shop?
Oh.
Something about
something
her.
about her.
Something about
Yes.
her. I don't know if we're gonna really all do all this.
That would be
but,
fun.
Maybe hit up
I-
And
Jack's
then,
now.
and then we go and
Oh,
cruise
God.
by Jeff Lewis's house. We've done that
Yes.
before.
Oh my
in
gosh.
his
We're
old
stalker-
house. Yeah.
We're like weird stalker people.
like a
when we do that.
reality star stalker.
Yeah, we're
Not like
reality
a
star.
like a normal star.
Yeah, not like a real hardcore celebrity, but we
No.
just go by
Yeah,
their
I have
houses
a
and
I have a
stuff.
girlfriend who lives somewhere near Sheena and Brock's house
that's
now in
Oh, really?
Sherman Oaks, and
That's
she like
interesting.
can see their house
Oh,
like on the
that's
regular.
nice.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna
There
go
you
on a
go.
walk.
Yeah, she'll walk by it, and she said he's starting a fitness app,
Oh.
and
Oh,
they were
okay.
promoting it like in front of his house, I guess.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, I believe that.
Yeah, I
You know,
could see
they're-
that. Yeah.
Those guys are all so busy. I heard that Vanderpump Rules is shooting or starting to shoot.
Is it? I hope
Yeah.
so.
And
I know.
and
I know.
heard-
I'm like, how'd you hear this?
Yeah.
I heard on the Vine Files.
I know. So I
Okay.
was
So I-
like, is it a reputable source? I don't believe you.
Well, Nick Vile says he drives by Sandoval's house every day to go into work.
oh,
No,
okay. I
That's
was
how
like,
close
why?
he lives to him.
Okay.
Oh wow.
And I don't know what. I think they still have the house. They never
I
sold the
think
house. Still.
So yeah.
I think he still lives there.
I think he does.
Oh, interesting.
I'm sure he's broke, right?
He's got
Yeah.
I don't care how many TV spots you do. He doesn't do
Well,
that many.
isn't he going to be on the upcoming Traders?
Yeah,
Yes.
So that's a little bit of a paycheck.
yeah. Paycheck, and I'm sure he has. I mean, I don't know.
I don't know if his
social media stuff
band
or
makes
whatever.
money.
I don't know.
Sound, seem like he pays a lot of people to
Would
get
you
a
go?
gig.
I mean, if they came to Reno, I'd go see.
yeah.
I
he
mean,
might get to
would.
that point.
I would go see. Oh, for sure,
I
I'd go see.
wouldn't. I don't want to support him at all. He drives me nuts.
Oh.
But his girlfriend, his
Yeah,
new
but I love
girlfriend's hot.
narcissists.
Oh, does he still have a like?
Yeah,
I heard
have
that
you
he
seen-
still
has
somebody
that
broke
chick?
up.
I
thought they
saw he
broke up.
just posted
Oh, okay.
them like the other day, and I was looking at photos, and I was like, she's so hot. There's something wrong with her.
Right.
Well,
Like
she has
she's
something
cuckoo
wrong with
bird.
her brain.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I think she just likes the fame and the attention.
say yes.
Honestly, because
she
like,
young?
why? Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know.
she's beautiful.
Did you know Swartz had that young girlfriend, like 24 years old?
The one that he
And-
was talking about at the reunion that he was dating.
Yeah,
think so.
and I don't think he's with her anymore.
Really?
Yeah, he was with her on Nick Vile's show. He was on there with her,
Oh, okay.
and so they were saying they're in love and all this
Yeah,
stuff.
he seemed-
24. She's 24 though. He's 44 or something like that.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
right.
Right? They're
I
like
didn't
20
think
years
of
That's
that.
a
apart.
whole like
Yeah.
life.
I didn't know she was
difference.
24.
She was 24. Yeah,
Wow.
that's almost my daughter's age.
Right.
Right.
And he's 40s.
Yeah, he's
those
probably
are like
42
two different
maybe or something
lifestyle.
like that. Yeah, he's like out of the party stage.
She's,
you
like,
know, and
in the
everything,
party
and
stage
she's like in
hard.
it, yeah. But yeah, who knows? But what they're doing, I guess everybody. So as far as they know, they're not 100% sure. Everybody for Vanderpump is signed on. Even they never said Ariana is not.
Okay.
Ariana is not. So you assume she is. But
Mhm.
what they did add was a few new waiters and waitresses from Sir because none of those guys work there anymore. And they need
No.
to tie the restaurant
Yeah.
in. And then Lisa
yeah, it's
Vanderpump's
not
going
part
to
of
be
that
pushed, like,
anymore.
backing out of it a little bit as far as
Okay.
being seen on
Yeah,
camera.
I think
She
I heard that
wasn't
too.
much last season.
Well, I think rumor has it she wants to move out of Bravo.
Right.
Well, because she has that show on Hulu.
yeah.
she's
She's all
probably
Hulu
like-
now.
So I think she might be moving out of, maybe this might be the last year or something, but
I feel like
apparently-
they should. I mean, I love it so much, but maybe this should be the last season of
I
Vanderpump.
know.
I mean, I would think if they ended it the way they ended it last season, it would have been fine with the
Right.
montage
they almost
at
should
the
have just
end.
ended it.
Yes.
They really should have,
I
and
kinda,
they probably
it
know
seemed
that.
kind of like
Yeah.
a closing.
You know, when you go
Yeah.
one too far, they might be one too far.
Yeah, I think this is going to be
I
one too
know.
far.
And then I think, what I think is that if they were going to this next year, they get rid of Ariana and Katie
Yeah.
and bring in the Swartz and their girlfriends.
Maybe.
Ooh,
You know what I mean?
interesting.
Because that's
Yeah.
kind of interesting, you know. And you know, Swartz is a train wreck. You got to, or not Swartz, but Sandoval is a train wreck, and
maybe
you got to
both a
keep him in there.
smidgy.
And I think people are curious what him and his girlfriend's relationship is like.
Yeah.
It's got to
Is
be.
he-
It's a whole storyline there for
I
sure.
mean, what kind of trust issues are going on there?
Yeah,
Ugh.
so much drama. And yeah,
Yeah.
Sheena and Lala will still film with the Toms. They have
Yeah,
no
oh,
problem.
yeah.
Yeah. So then
So they could keep that going.
Yeah, because I think when they say they're not filming with each other, that takes the what's the housewife thing? The New Jersey?
Yes.
They don't film with each
Teresa
other.
and
It's
what's
time
her
to
name?
stop the show
Melissa.
Yeah.
or recast.
Oh, right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when they stop,
I
you know,
agree.
they're making a lot of money. You know, they make $1 million. You know,
They make a lot.
Over $1 million for the season, or at least for whatever.
They make more than that.
maybe more than that. And they're saying, no, I
They
won't
make
film
like
with her.
500 an episode. Or
Yeah.
something
You're making
ridiculous.
500,000 episodes. You're saying, I'm not going to film with her.
Yeah.
There's a lot of actors who hate their co-star and they film with them
Right.
for the money.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Well, I
It's
think-
really stupid.
I would say, no, you're
well,
gone.
I kind of think
Mhm.
with kind of probably all of like even like housewives and the Vanderpump that they think they're needed more than they are. Like you can't do the show without me.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
they
they
can.
can. But
Oh,
they
they
can.
They can, yeah. So I think
There's-
they kind of have a little bit like think they have the power. But
Yeah, how many
they
train
don't.
wrecks are out there?
A lot.
It's crazy.
Yes.
And then there's some other interesting news. Did you know this? You know, Kristen Doty got engaged.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I
yep.
actually never asked you if you heard that.
I can't stand Kristen Doty. Doty.
Doty.
But when I heard her I've heard her on a couple interviews. I like her on the interviews.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
On the
just like
show,
a-
I don't like her.
Does
I
she
think
just
she's
bring
kind
out a
of
different side. or
pathetic. I
like
don't
a-
like the boyfriend and everything else. I just don't
Yeah.
like it's cringe kind of.
Right.
But on a separate interview, pretty normal and cool.
Yeah. I could
Yeah.
see
Maybe
that.
she,
I
like,
heard her on a podcast.
turns
and
it
she's
on
I thought
for
she
the
was
camera.
great on the podcast, and
Yeah.
she's very good behind the mic. She's very witty. She's very funny. But on the show, I don't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe I just don't like her on the
I
show.
feel like
don't know.
everyone has that like train wreck friend, like that one train wreck friend, and that's her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It always will
I
be.
mean, she'll say anything and do
and she'll
anything.
just keep
and
getting
just,
shit faced.
yeah, cause drama. Like
Who's more
Yeah.
drama, her or Jack Staler?
Oh,
that's a tough one.
they might be equal.
He's got to be more drama, right?
I-
And supposedly,
yeah,
the guy goes
Yeah.
to rehab, gets out of rehab, and starts filming 2 days later.
yeah,
Right.
I mean, you're not cured.
No.
If you can go on a
No.
reality show and start
Like, I gotta
stirring
get out.
shit the next day, you know, think
I'm
about
just
it.
so glad Brittany's divorcing him.
I know.
Yeah, I like
she can
her.
do way better
Yeah.
than him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
thank-
minute
Shit.
he cheated on her before they even got married, she
I
should have.
know.
How
been
many
done.
times did he cheat on her?
Uh,
For real,
right.
that
So
you
many.
don't know about.
Right.
Right.
Oh,
What, a
absolutely.
million?
He's just a loser.
Yeah, and he'll
really is.
say anything and do anything. I guess for fame or spotlight or whatever, man.
Yeah.
But you gotta,
Yeah.
you know, now he's got a wife and kid and all this other stuff, and you know, so there's a lot of stuff on the line.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And he
Yeah.
just says, "I'm so stressed out, I don't want to do this anymore." Then he goes and does it,
I know.
or
Right.
says the stupidest thing
Yeah,
ever. But
which is shocking. 'cause
he
they
doesn't seem
left.
like a good person.
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, it could be an act. I doubt it.
No, I don't
They
think
don't
he's a
think
good
so.
person. I think
Kristen
he's
Doty, I
so-
think she's probably a decent person.
Yeah.
Probably, you know.
Yeah, she's just a hot mess, but she's
Yeah.
not a
Right.
bad person at her core.
Right.
I think
Yeah.
Jax is kind of a bad
think
person
he
at
might
his
be.
core.
Yeah. What did you ever think of that girl Joe on Vanderpump? You know Joe.
Oh gosh.
You know Schwartz's like
Yes.
Joe.
friend who they
she
hooked
was
up with.
yeah, she was kind of kooky, and if I were the girls, I would be like, this girl's annoying and dumb. I wouldn't have really been a fan either.
Mhm.
But I also, when it came out later, like Tom Schwartz was telling us that Joe was like a pathological liar, basically. I
Oh.
was like, oh my gosh, she's crazy. Like she's really
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, I think she might be.
Yeah.
But I didn't really like her on the show.
I wasn't. Yeah.
No.
At first, I was kind of like, oh, she's like kind of nice. And then I was like, wait.
I think they wanted her to be
you're-
Schwartz's girlfriend. It just didn't work
I
out.
think she wanted to be.
Oh well, she
Yeah.
wanted to be. Yeah. So
Yeah, they were both quirky together, and I think they really did connect and bond and all that. I think maybe they could have been good for each other, but if she's like a pathological liar and like a
That's- yeah.
weirdo, like he
Yeah.
couldn't be with her long term.
No.
And I think
And
he
it's hard to
realized
do
that.
multiple seasons of a show when you're
Yeah.
gonna be like that. Yeah, unless
Yeah.
you're Sandoval.
Yeah.
Right.
He's kind of
Right.
grandfathered in
Yeah.
a little bit. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, these old guys now, and they're
Yeah.
still doing it.
I know. I mean, they get big money for it now. They used to get like $5,000
Yeah.
or $15,000 for the whole season.
Something ridiculous
Yeah,
like that when they started.
the
yeah.
first year they got like $15,000 for the whole 14
it was
episodes.
yeah, it was not very much.
Yeah, but I mean, they stuck with it and it worked out, And now they're getting the guys in the Valley are getting big money. All those guys on
Are
the
they?
on the
Oh,
Valley,
they, even like the new ones?
Mhm.
Oh.
they're getting like top dollar because the ratings were so good.
Yeah.
I guess they all renegotiated and they're all coming back. Do you watch that one?
I watched half of it. I literally have not finished the season.
It's a train wreck. Yeah,
Yeah.
watch the
Kind of,
rest
yeah.
of it. Yeah,
I want
but,
to.
But it's now they got Jax and Brittany getting divorced, and then they got
That
The
other
other-
couple.
the other couple.
Michelle, what's his name?
Michelle and,
what's that guy's
Jesse.
name?
Jesse.
Jesse?
No,
Maybe.
the hell's his name? Jesse, right?
Oh, he
I
might
don't
be.
Anyway, total train wreck. But
I know, and I thought that show was just going to be a flop.
I did too.
And
but I was like,
people
we'll watch
loved
it.
I was
People
like,
loved
I
it.
don't want to watch this.
Yeah.
I was like, we
Blah,
gotta
blah.
watch it.
Yeah, and we gotta watch
And
it. We did.
everyone just kept saying good things about it, and
It
it
was
just blew
entertaining.
up.
Yep.
So good for them.
So I got one more for you, and I know we were talking about this earlier because I was asking if you're watching. Is that Mormon mom?
Oh, the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. That's a really
Mom
long
Talk,
name.
I call it. They
Mom
should-
Talk.
why
No,
you
didn't
don't
they-
call it
Why
that.
didn't
They
they
call
name
it
that?
that.
Why didn't they name that show Mom Talk
I don't know.
or Mormon Talk or whatever? But
Well, I think
I understand Mom Talk is a kind of Mormon and mom, and is that what it
Yeah.
is or no?
I didn't
Am
realize
I-
it was like more like the Mormon Mom Talk.
I never put two and two together either.
I didn't until they were like talking about it.
I
was
thought
like,
they were just moms
Is
and
it
it
like-
was on TikTok, but it
They're
could
all
Maybe
be.
it's like
Mormon.
they're
but it
Mormon
could be
No, I think it's a
Mormons.
double. And the
Yeah.
Mom Talk is Mormon. Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, but it
I
seemed
don't
they
know.
seemed to be all like Mormon.
Yeah.
Moms.
They are. I never thought of
Yeah.
that. That's genius. If it's Mom Talk, Mormon Mom Talk.
Right.
I don't know.
I am watching it. I'm only a few episodes in, but I'm loving it. I remember following the
We're
whole
one
story.
and a half in.
See, I
Okay.
didn't follow any of the story, so I was like,
Are you on TikTok?
no.
Okay, well
That's
that'll
why,
do
yeah.
it.
Yeah, that'd be why. Yes.
We're not good dancers, or I'm not. So
No,
don't
I
think
like
TikTok.
refuse to get it because I don't want to get like sucked in the hole because I know
We
I
have
will.
a TikTok.
I know
Our
that we've
podcast
never
is a TikTok
used,
account.
which we
never really
should.
used it, yeah.
Yeah, it's great. I remember watching like the first video I saw of the Mom Talk girls. It was all of them like beautiful, long hair, just stunning women.
They're all gorgeous.
And then
They
the
are.
one girl, the main girl, Taylor, who you see on the
Yes.
show,
Boy, she's a wreck.
she had in the caption, "I'm the mom, and these are my daughters." And I was like, "What?" So I was like, "No way!" And I went to the comments. I'm like, "That's the mom, and these are the daughters."
No.
That's how I was first introduced to this group. And then I slowly learned, no, they're all friends.
all-
That is not the mom. But it definitely grabbed my attention. And so I started following them, or actually just popped up on my feed. And then I saw the video where she came out and basically confessed to the whole swinging thing. And then, of course, I started following her from there and just kind of followed the whole thing. And then I saw she got a show. So I've kind of been involved since the beginning, and then seeing the show, I'm definitely interested.
When I started watching the show, because it's hard because the girls are 23, 24,
They're
29.
babies.
Like my daughter's age almost.
They're so
But-
young.
I was like, you know what? I can't take this show, blah, blah, blah. And then she paused and says, I was pregnant and I lost the baby. And then 2 minutes later, she says, and I'm pregnant. And then I sat back down and I go, no way. This chick's pregnant now? What is going on?
They didn't
She's
hook
a-
you in that
No,
first episode.
They hooked me big time. And about
Yeah.
halfway through the episode, I was out. I was like, no way. Then she says,
At the
I
end,
lost the baby.
you kind of fell asleep,
I'm
and then they hooked you at
then
the
I'm
end.
I'm telling her, she didn't lose the baby. She got an abortion for sure. I know it.
I
know
don't
it.
know.
And then
I don't think so.
then within 2 minutes, and I'm pregnant. Then they show her the next scene with a big belly. And I'm like, oh my God.
11 months later.
Who are these people?
Yeah. Well, it's only 6
God.
episodes, so I
Oh.
feel like it's a quick watch.
Oh, because I
It
was
is,
talking
yeah,
to my
we're like-
daughter. She said, I watched the whole thing. And I said, how many episodes? She goes, I think 8. But there was only,
I
it's
think
only
6. I think it's
Oh,
6.
so
yeah,
yeah,
it's a
because
quick watch.
they seem to fast forward like she was full
well,
pregnant.
they went
you
from
know?
like, I lost the baby. Well, you
They
didn't
went
see. You
from,
might have been
I lost
sleeping.
the
It said
baby, I
11
went to
months
jail,
later.
and then 11 months later,
Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah. So they took a big gap. I think when she went to jail,
I wonder if
did
they were
not
like,
know
this
what to
isn't
do.
going to work. And they
Yeah.
were like, oh, actually, let's pick those cameras back up. This is going to work.
She went to-
I think that's exactly what they did.
I mean, she's a train wreck.
She is.
Oh, she
And
is.
that's
I
what
just have
people
a
like
hard
to
time
watch.
with kind of all of these like Mormon. They're young, yes, but they're like, and I think it's maybe the culture they grew up in. They seem so immature even for their age.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Well, because everything's about the TikTok.
well,
and about
no,
the
I think that
dancing
they
and-
just like, they're married and have kids, but they still are just these young babies and like
yeah.
don't know life, don't under like.
Yeah, they don't have
So
a
I'm
lot
like,
of life experience.
Yeah,
yet.
you
can
would have kind
see.
of like, oh, you're a mom. You're like, but I'm like, you're 22 and you sound like it.
Yeah.
It was like they're so cute and good looking. I'm like, they're 23 years
And
old.
they are like
I mean, I
having a
wonder why-
conversation.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, you still are in your
Yeah.
20s.
When they
Right.
show the ages and their names, I'm like,
die.
no
I'm like,
way.
yeah.
What?
I mean, I'm jaw dropped. I'm like,
Yeah, me too.
Wow.
So young.
yeah.
So
And then I see the
young.
one that's 30. I'm like, oh, she's old.
Yeah, right. Oh, 30.
You're
Okay.
seeing all the 23-year-olds.
You're
and
normal. I
everything.
know. What are you doing hanging out with these ones also?
They're so young. But yes, I am tuning into that. I'm kind of into it. I'm excited to finish it.
Yeah, that sucked.
we'll
I think we
see.
got 2.5 or one
We
and a half
actually, I
episodes
talked to
in.
you on the phone before, and you said, and I said, okay, let's watch one. Then we
Oh,
watched
good.
1.5. You know,
Yeah,
so.
so you got into it.
Yeah, we got into it a little bit.
Yeah,
But when I was watching, I think I was watching that or something else. I'm not sure, but they had a commercial on, and TLC, is it TLC?
The
The
channel?
network? Yeah.
Mhm.
TLC, Sister Wives has a new season.
Oh, seems appropriate.
And
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think they must have advertised it during that show
that makes
because
sense.
'cause
they're
do you ever
Mormon
watch
as
that
well.
show, Sister Wives,
No.
where the guy has like 3
Right.
wives?
Just clips of it.
We've
I've never
only, like,
sat and like watched a
Yeah.
season.
Randomly
Could you do that?
watched in like a hotel room.
Could you do that,
I
Mary
couldn't do
Tess?
that.
Ooh, good question.
Like
No.
you know, you don't got to be there all the time. You
I
just,
couldn't do it.
do your little part. You
No.
just do your little part,
I couldn't
I
do
and
it.
then you
couldn't.
just go home, and the guy just gives you some money, probably.
It's very controlling though in the
Well,
man's
no,
part.
I'm saying it's super controlling, yeah,
Yeah.
because
No,
You
I
do
would
that.
get too jealous.
I
Like,
don't think
oh,
I'm
he's
like
with
it.
her,
oh,
and then
Yeah.
right,
Because
I
there's
would
like
be
a
like-
schedule of where the
Yeah.
guy's at.
it would
Yeah.
be emotionally really hard.
Yeah, and that'd be hard too if there's kids involved. Like, oh, you can't see your dad today because he's at their house.
right. Maybe he just has one wife that cooks for him.
No, they switch
One
off.
wife
I
have
think.
sex with him.
No, he goes to
Or
like.
he has sex with all of them.
He all sex with all of
He
them.
knocks them all. He gets them all pregnant. That's
Right,
why.
yeah, duh, yeah.
Right.
So I think he
Yeah.
just like switches houses. Like
There's
they have a
some
schedule.
guy with like a curly mullet that
Ew.
they're bringing back.
Oh,
I think he
it's
was on
weirdly-
there
I don't know who
before.
it is, but I know. Well, it didn't like everybody leave him.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think
Yeah.
they're bringing him back, and he has 3 more wives.
For new
Oh,
wives.
God.
Yeah, this guy's
Okay.
getting around.
Ew.
I can
And he's-
never. And it's just like
That show's a mess.
as a woman, like, okay, you're gonna have that, then I'm gonna have 2 other guys on the
right.
side. Is that
if
cool?
you get 2, I
they
get 2.
probably
Yeah.
have one.
No,
I don't think
the
they're
women do.
allowed. No, not till they broke
The
up
women
officially.
are kind of homely though.
Well, right.
The men are kind of erect, but the women are kind of like a little, Holly
They're not-
Hobby-ish.
They're not like Mormon Wives Hulu show.
No,
at
they're
all.
more like Amish-ish.
Kinda.
Yeah, like
Amish-
House on the
Amish-
Prairie.
Like they're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
wearing
Little House on the Prairie.
makeup much.
Yeah, Holly Hobby. You're wearing like a flowery,
Skirt.
what do you call that? A date house dress? You're wearing like a house dress. They call it. Like
dress.
you keep the house. yeah.
Yes, that's. I mean,
Like a yellow house dress
And I
with little
think that
flowers
they,
all over it. You know,
like don't work. They like homeschool the
Yeah.
kids.
A baby
It's
blue dress with little like dandelions on it.
paisley flowers.
And then the guy with the mullet and no sleeves come in.
Ew.
Yeah.
Hey baby.
Right. He thinks
That's
he's
the
like
most
the
disgusting
man.
show.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. He's sitting in his chair, and these women are cleaning the house and rubbing his feet and stuff.
Right.
Right. Yo, this
Ugh.
sounds great.
Yeah, that's why I got to watch this show.
They're not getting a sister wife. It's Nora.
Right. Anyway, when you do start drinking again,
Yeah,
do you ever drink vodka?
I do.
Okay.
Love vodka.
Have a listen to this. Honey, guess what time it is?
Happy hour?
Yep, I made your favorite Juicy Tits vodka cocktail.
Fantastic. Thanks, babe. Love you.
And I love you. And your Juicy Tits.
Go to juicytitsvodka.com to get your own bottle of Juicy Tits, where life is the party.
Interesting story here. We're not totally perverted. But the girl that owns Juicy Tits, Lauren, 10% of her profit from this goes to breast cancer.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's her angle or,
Yeah.
or thing she does.
That's great.
Since she started it. And her, I got it. We're gonna have her on, and we're gonna do that thing with her. I believe her mom or somebody close to her had breast
I
cancer,
think so too. I can't remember
and so
who though.
she donates.
10% of her
That's where she got the
profits.
tits thing and everything.
Yeah.
So and she does pretty well.
Oh, good.
She sells this stuff everywhere and does a lot of breast cancer awareness stuff
That's great. I mean,
in
if you're-
bars or wherever she does it at. I don't
yeah,
know,
if you're
but-
gonna have vodka after boobs and stuff, it's great that breast
Yeah.
cancer is somehow incorporated into that.
Yeah, yeah, and
That's
that's
right.
so
awesome.
yeah. People like a perverted thing or whatever. I go no, but this is
It's
her.
woman
This is
owned.
her angle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She did the tits and the giving back to breast cancer.
That's
so
so cool.
yeah. So well, you got to listen to that episode when she's on. She's gonna. I think November she's gonna be on. And so,
Awesome, okay.
She's awesome. She's from Jersey and she's She's a hoot.
Yeah.
She's a talker. She's a typical Jersey. She could be on the Jersey Housewife. She's a.
Maybe they should hire her.
She's a talker.
Yeah,
They might need some new ladies.
new cast.
I should tell her that. I mean, you should submit.
Give Bravo a call.
Yeah, because she's
Yeah.
from Jersey anyway. That's perfect.
There you go.
Last week on the podcast, we got it's so funny story. We said something. I think we said something last time you were on too. We said something about Brett Favre sent a dick pic to his trainer
Oh yeah.
a long time ago.
Yeah.
And so we said that on the podcast, and my sister-in-law was listening to the podcast.
In the
So
car.
she gets out of the car and she puts her phone in her purse and she goes into the bank. And she puts her purse on the counter in the bank and it clicked onto the podcast. And she goes, all I could hear is you saying dick pic, dick pic, dick pic. And everybody in the bank's like looking. She goes, I was so embarrassed I couldn't get to my phone. And all you guys keep talking about is dick
Dick
pics
pic.
over and over again. She goes, and I go, and
She's
then
calling and I was like, we said dick pic. He's like, yeah, the Brett Favre.
I didn't know
was
we
like,
said it, you
Oh
know.
my
And then she
gosh.
goes, well, at least that wasn't like a PTA meeting or something like that,
yeah.
you know.
Could be worse, I guess. Oh, that's hilarious.
So I thought that was
that is really funny.
I know.
Whoops.
And then we got a lot of feedback on our stuff because last week we did our podcast. They had the Davis fire here,
Oh right.
and we were
Mhm.
getting the alerts
Got
on our
the
phone while we
evacuation
were
alert
doing
while we
the
were doing
podcast. I'm like,
it.
what the fuck is that? What the fuck? Dog's going crazy, everything.
Yeah.
And
Were you guys close to evacuating?
we didn't have to evacuate,
have
but we
to.
were on the cusp of
Okay.
evacuating. We could see it pretty good.
Oh,
We got
wow.
big chunks of charcoal in
Ugh, yeah.
our driveway and everything.
Wow.
And then also we got some things. We had a thing where see if you can relate to this. So this
Hold on.
lady's in a car, and I'll make it short because I
Me
said
too.
this last week. This lady's in a car and she waits for her boyfriend/husband. They're both in their 30s, let's say,
Oh.
and they're both a black lady and a black guy, kind of heavy set. Gets in the car, and he's just wearing a regular old T-shirt and stuff, and she's like, "You look really good today," and the guy's like, "Oh, thanks, honey," and then he's like, "Oh," and he's like, "Yeah," he goes, "You know, you look a little thinner. You've been working out." And she squeezes his arm, and everything. He's like, "Wow, thanks." She's like, "I really like that T-shirt too." She gave him like 10 compliments. This guy was the giddiest guy on earth.
Oh.
Like he was so happy and excited. I'm like, look at you give your man a couple compliments, he'll do anything for you.
Right.
And then we
Had to
did a little
regardless.
thing about that, and we got a lot of
did you?
flack about
Yet to
that.
compliment you this week.
Yeah, I ain't even got one yet.
Oh, let's compliment.
Give me
know.
one
What
at
would you
least.
say?
Did you give me any compliments this
Of
week?
course I did.
Liar.
Of course I did.
Yeah.
The way
But-
to a man's heart
but
is
anyway,
compliments.
but yes.
Okay.
And if you see this video, you'll really believe it.
Yeah.
This guy was and he's like, "You look good too." He's like, it's like it was
Cute.
very cute and
Yeah.
very good video, and we talked about it. It stuck in my head.
Yeah.
I just loved it. But anyway, Life with Eric podcast is brought to you by Petrilla Concrete Construction, and we'll give a shout out to Michael Weems Collections in Palm Springs on Palm Canyon Drive. He's the one that sent us this. This is art.
It is.
I
a
was wondering
pill.
what that was. It's
Yeah.
really cool.
Cool, yeah.
Pretty.
He makes pill art, but he also makes he makes
Inappropriate
dishes.
coasters.
He makes,
70s
like-
porn dishes.
Yeah, he does
is
all
what it
kinds of
sounds
stuff.
like.
What?
We had this guy on the podcast. He's
Yes.
great, and he's from Palm. If you ever go to Palm
You
Springs,
have to go to a store.
you have to go, and he'll be there, and he's freaking hilarious.
He's a hoot. His store's a hoot.
Yeah, and we had him on,
Awesome.
we were in his store, and then we ended up having him on the podcast because we liked him so much and
Oh,
everything.
really?
Yeah, he was great.
Fun.
We seriously, he talked for like an hour.
He could go
He couldn't
forever,
get a
yeah.
word in. And he's
Really?
And
freaking
it was, yeah.
he
he's
is hilarious. Like he was really funny, and so
Yeah, I'll have to
if
check
anybody
that
ever
out.
wants to listen to that podcast, I can't remember what it was called. Oh, it's called Gucci Bitch.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Because
That
he
was the
has
name
like
of He used to work
his
at
whole
Gucci.
life. Yeah. So he has one of his designs is Gucci Bitch.
Yeah, he used to work at Gucci and he used to work at Tiffany's.
Yes, he
So he
did.
got a
Ooh.
passion for
Plates.
dishes,
He likes
dishes and plates. So he
He
does
like
these
designs
art.
dishes.
People
yeah.
come from all over and buy this shit.
Cool. Good for
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
I'll have to
and
And
check it
he
out.
is hilarious. But if you go on say the website.
MichaelWeemsCollections.com.
.com. Yeah, if you go on the website, get something there. If you like this podcast, rate us a 5, and you can click the share button. Go to Tess's podcast, More or Less with Tess,
Mm-hmm.
who we're going to be
you.
on next.
Yes.
When I cool off, my face is burning up. My face red. I feel hot right
It is
now.
red.
Is it
Oh,
really?
my
And your
I
neck
feel
God.
is.
hot right now.
Maybe turn the air on.
I think I get all jazzed when we have a guest.
Jazz are like anxious.
Both, I think. I
Okay.
like being on my game,
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. You want to make sure you're doing it well.
Yeah, and I hope I didn't talk over you
You didn't. No.
because we
he
had
worries
somebody
about
on.
that.
I hate talking to, and I hear myself, and I'm like, oh my God, Eric, you loudmouth piece of shit.
Yeah, no, I do that too as a podcast host. If I can tell when you talk over someone, because I do it sometimes as well with a guest, and I'm like, oh no.
Just like let them finish their sentence. Jeez Louise, you know what is?
Yeah, no,
you
you
know,
did great.
What is going on?
You asked a hard hitting question.
Oh,
But anyway, it's that time, dear. Who are we gonna cheers today? This
that's
is easy.
dumb. Yeah. We're going to choose. Cheers to you, Tess.
Oh,
Yeah, cheers, Tess. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thanks for
Thanks, guys.
coming.
Last time you were on-
Congratulations
oh, yeah.
on your positive
thank you.
outcome journey. Everybody, how do you word
Journey.
that?
I think a journey is
Yeah.
a good name for it.
Yeah, that's a great name for it. Thank
And
you
then
so
I
much.
think, and hopefully you're on the, you know,
Up and up.
up
Yeah.
and up trajectory.
Yes, that's what I'm hoping and praying for. Definitely.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And I think people will enjoy listening to your podcast and
Yes,
getting all
definitely
the
check it out.
getting all the
Yeah.
information.
Thank you so much for having me on. This was so much fun.
Yeah.
It's
You're
good to be
welcome.
back.
Yeah,
Another
it's
fun
easy having you on,
episode.
and
It
and,
is.
and it's funny because a lot when you were on last time, a lot of people liked you on.
We
the
did get a lot
podcast,
of good
by the way.
feedback.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so
I got
we-
the same when you guys were on
Yeah.
mine. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
it was such a fun
good.
episode. People loved it.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, hopefully I
Yeah.
don't pass out. My face is so red. I might make the whole.
Wow.
Gotta go
might
stand
make the whole
outside.
episode. I
Yeah.
gotta go roll in the snow
You
or
put
something.
like there's zero snow.
there
It's
isn't any
85
snow
degrees out.
Okay, yeah.
Put a fan over there.
Subscribe or follow us on wherever you get your podcast, or just go to our website at lifewitheric.com.
And don't forget to follow us on social media for updates and a closer look into My Life with Eric. To all of our listeners out there, remember, it's always happy hour here.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Love you, baby.
Love you.
Thanks, Tess.
Thank you.